push away the things I plan to say. Oh, baby.
Okay, so now we're gonna do an awesome little, I guess, rustic or boho style pumpkin using one of the Dollar Tree foam pumpkins. If you've never done any crafting with these are so much fun. And you can do some really unique fall decor just using these little pumpkins. They're pretty awesome. Now I'm not gonna use the stem that came with the pumpkin, so I go ahead and pull that out, and he's going in the trash because there is nothing that I could use that for. And I've got 6 rolls of Dollar Tree ribbon. This is the burlap ribbon. Most of them, I think all of them are the same with the exception of this guy. So I think we're gonna use him first because he'll just be a filler since I have all of the others are the same. What I'm gonna do is literally cut strips and just hot glue them onto the pumpkin. And the one thing I have found when you're doing this is make sure you don't put too many layers of burlap that are gonna be on the bottom of your pumpkin because he'll get kind of cattywampus and he won't sit right. And I like to start with the indentions of the pumpkin. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue down that indention. And then I'm just going to secure the ribbon to my hot glue. Just like that. Super easy. And I'm just gonna work my way around the entire pumpkin. Okay, so here is my little pumpkin, and there was 6 spools of this ribbon. Each of them were 2 yards, and it was just stuff, you know, just to see if I could do this. And yes, I was able to do it, but I still have a little bit of orange that's showing through, and you know, that's not horrible, but I want to maybe add a little bit more ribbon to fill in those bare spots, just to make sure. So I have this twine, and I think I got this on Temu. But I'm just gonna fill in where that orange is showing through. Just a little bit more of this twiny type stuff. And it's definitely like of a rustic color. Just going around a little bit, a couple more times with this extra ribbon.
And here is my adorable little boho pumpkin. I really like how you can see the orange underneath. I think it looks really nice. And I really think he is an excellent addition to my pumpkin collection for this fall. So this is a Dollar Tree pumpkin, of course, and this one is white. They have white ones this year. So what I'm gonna do is take some caulking, and I'm going to put this caulking all over my pumpkin. If you have a caulking gun, it will make it a lot easier, but you just put the caulking all over the pumpkin. And yes, this is incredibly messy. Can you tell? So I would highly encourage you to wear gloves when you're doing this project. I'm going to now smooth out all of the caulking all over my pumpkin. And I'm not too concerned if there's like rough edges or anything. The biggest thing is I want to make sure that there is caulking completely covering my pumpkin, the top, sides, back, everything. And now what I'm going to do is just put some dirt. This is just dirt that I got from outside, and I'm just going to add some dirt to the pumpkin. So my goal is to make this Dollar Tree pumpkin look kind of more rustic, kind of like what you would find at Pottery Barn. And I'm not sure if Pottery Barn has anything like this, but I know they have lots of vases and vessels that have this kind of rustic appearance. And I thought it would be really fun to try it with pumpkins. Like I said, it is really messy. I did this on a couple of different size Dollar Tree pumpkins just to see what I could make it look like. And these are my caulking pumpkins. I think they look really cute. I did add a stem to one of them, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Okay, I have another pumpkin for you. Now, this pumpkin did not come from the Dollar Tree. I got him at the Goodwill and he was $3.99, so that was a pretty good deal. But this one is so easy. You just need some Mod Podge and some glitter and a paintbrush. And I'm gonna go ahead and coat the entire pumpkin with Mod Podge. Now, some people say that I have a heavy hand when it comes to the Mod Podge, and you know what? I do. But for this, you really need that heavy hand because we really want to make sure that glitter is going to completely cover our pumpkin. So now I'm just going to sprinkle glitter all over the pumpkin. And this glitter is ultra fine glitter that I bought on Amazon, and I will leave a link in the description box below in case you would like to have a glittery pumpkin like this. And I'm telling you, this is probably the easiest pumpkin craft I have ever done. So much fun, lots of glitter, lots of bling for sure on this pumpkin. Now you can buy glitter pumpkins like this, but they can run a pretty penny. So I think it's a better idea to make your own DIY glitter pumpkin. That way you can get the color and the size of the pumpkin that you want for your decorating. And like I said, I really want to make sure that this pumpkin has lots of glitter. So I am just going to go over the pumpkin a little bit extra with the glitter because I want to make sure that I'm only going to be seeing the glitter. I don't want to see any of the pumpkin showing from underneath. Now, once I was done with the pumpkin portion, then I did also coat the stem with glitter as well. If you wanted to, you could paint the stem, but I wanted my pumpkin to be completely covered in glitter. And here is my glitter pumpkin. And see, I do have an orange glitter pumpkin too, and I did leave his stem natural. But I really like these. I think they're a nice addition to my pumpkin collection. All right, I have another Dollar Tree pumpkin and I have some corn husks. Now I got these corn husks at Walmart just in the grocery section. And what I'm gonna do is separate the corn husks into smaller pieces and then I'm gonna cover the pumpkin with the corn husks. I did find it really useful to use the little finger protectors too, because I am touching the area where I've attached the corn husk using hot glue. And the finger protectors just protect your fingers while you're working with something super hot like hot glue. But I'm just taking little pieces of the corn husks, so they're very easy to break apart. And then I'm just going to secure pieces all around my pumpkin. Usually the first piece is the hardest, and then it gets easier and easier as you work around the pumpkin. And really there isn't any right or wrong way of how to apply the corn husks. You can put the glue onto the pumpkin itself, then put the corn husk onto it, like I'm doing here. Or you can put the glue onto the corn husk and then wrap it around the pumpkin. The most important part of this project is to cover all of the pumpkin with the corn husks because I don't want to see any of that orange poking through. I just want this to be a corn husk pumpkin. And once I had the pumpkin all completed and covered all the way around the sides and the top, I still needed to cover the bottom. So I just cut a piece of the corn husk and put a lot of glue onto the bottom and then covered up the remaining orange with the corn husk. Now for this pumpkin, I did want to add something to the top. So I am going to add some leaves, and I got these at Hobby Lobby, I think last year when they were like 50% off or on clearance. So I'm going to use one huge leaf, so one entire leaf, and then I'm going to add a little bit of extra, I guess, embellishment with some wheat pieces. And then I'm going to reattach a stem. Now this stem is from a different Dollar Tree pumpkin. And then I just added in a couple of fake flowers, and my corn husk pumpkin is all done. And yes, we have another Dollar Tree pumpkin, but actually I got this pumpkin at Walmart and it was cheaper than the Dollar Tree. This pumpkin was 98 cents, but I did get these stickers at the Dollar Tree and they were $1.25. I like these pearlized stickers because they're raised. And this is very similar to the hobnail pumpkin that I did in my other pumpkin video, which you should go check out too, because there's 6 other design ideas for pumpkins. But I liked the hobnail, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I just attached the stickers to the pumpkin. And when I ran out on the bottom, then I just continued to try and keep my line as even as I could, just so I could continue the stickers all the way around the pumpkin. And I did do 3 different pumpkins, and I found if you use a primer before you use your paint, it really helps to not have to use so much spray paint. And the Rust-Oleum primer actually dries really quickly. So there are my primered pumpkins. And now I'm going to use a semi-gloss spray paint in white. I really like the semi-gloss. It's not too glossy, and that was the look that I was going for. So I'm just going to spray paint my pumpkins, and then I'll allow them to dry. Now, once they were dry, I did use some really bright, shiny gold acrylic paint just to paint the stems of each of the pumpkins. I really like the contrast between the gold and the white paint. And here are my adorable little sticker pumpkins from the Dollar Tree and Walmart. I really like that gold stem. I think it looks really nice. And they don't look like Dollar Tree pumpkins. All right, I have another white pumpkin from the Dollar Tree. And I think this is probably one of my favorite pumpkins that I have done so far. But first, I'm just gonna punch in the stem. Now, the stem is not removable on the white ones, in case you were wondering. And then I'm going to put my gloves on again. And then using some spackle, this is like a really lightweight spackle material, I'm going to coat the pumpkin with the spackling. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because if you've worked with the Dollar Tree pumpkins, you know they look like styrofoam. And they have that center section of where they've like been formed together. Well, I don't want my pumpkin to have that center section, and I don't want it to look like it's styrofoam. So I'm coating the entire pumpkin with the spackling compound, and then I'm going to smooth everything out because I do want this pumpkin to be pretty smooth. Now, what the video won't show you is I just patted everything down while it was drying. Then I'm taking that same gold paint that I used for my last pumpkins, and I'm just going to dry brush the gold onto the white. Now, what's really nice about it with that spackling compound, it gave a lot of texture to this pumpkin, which makes it easier for the gold paint just to kind of rest in certain areas on the pumpkin. And even the paintbrush I'm using came from the Dollar Tree. I find that these paintbrushes work really well for doing a type of dry brushing technique on my projects. Now, once my pumpkin was all painted or dry brushed, then I found a stick from outside and I just coated it with some jute twine. Now, this jute twine did not come from the Dollar Tree. This is a huge package that I got from Amazon. But if you don't have any jute, then you can go to the Dollar Tree because they do sell it and it is affordable. It's just not quite as thick as this jute. So I just covered the entire stick with that jute twine. I put it around the top first because I don't want to see the stick. And then I just wrapped the jute around the stick. And I continued the process all the way down, almost to the bottom. And once I was at the bottom, then I just secured the jute with a little more hot glue. And since I'm on a gold kick, I went ahead and took that gold acrylic paint again, and I'm just going to paint everything that I just did with the gold paint. Now, if you wanted to, if you had a thick enough stick, you could probably just paint it, and I bet you that would look really nice. But I didn't have a stick that was thick enough, I couldn't find one, so I just did this instead. Now, once I was done painting it, I put some hot glue into my pumpkin. Then I put the stem into the pumpkin as well. Now, I kind of had it go off to the side, and then I just took some of those leaves again that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just secured them in place so that way you won't be able to see that hole that I cut into the pumpkin. Isn't that cute? And next I took some, I don't even know what this stuff is, but it's like wire and it's in autumn colors. And again, I got this at Hobby Lobby that I've had and I couldn't figure out what I was going to use it for. So I just made some little vine tendrils and then I secured them in place with some hot glue as well. And here is my awesome little dry brush gold pumpkin. You can't tell that this was one of those foam Dollar Tree pumpkins, can you? I didn't think so. I can't tell. I think he looks really good. And that is it for my Pumpkin Palooza or my different DIY projects using Dollar Tree pumpkins. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week with a brand new video.